Hi everyone, Rick and Charlene here with Itty Bitty Homestead. As we've said before in one of our earlier videos, part of our deal is we're trying to get healthier. Well, one of the ways of getting healthy is to plan ahead on your meals. This is what we're doing today. We're working on meal prep for an entire week's worth of meals for myself and for Charlene. What we've been doing is we will do a regular serving of oatmeal for breakfast every morning, plus we'll have a little bacon. But we're trying to basically cut a lot of the bread out of our diet. Unintentionally, of course, but it's still being done that way. So you'll see fitness people all over the interwebs, talking about meal prep, meal plan, meal this, meal that, and which is what we're trying to do. So, like I said, breakfast is generally just oatmeal for us because, well, we both like it, we both enjoy it, we can eat it, and it fills us up. Now, what we're working on here, what we're going to be working on here in this video is going to be our lunches and our dinners for 7 days. This is what Charlene and I do. Whether you do it or not, that's up to you. If you choose to do it, great. It might work for you.
Last week we did, of course, breakfast was oatmeal. Mm-hmm. Lunches were chicken and broccoli and rice. And dinners were a little bit of pork, a little bit of beef with the sweet potatoes. This week we decided to go a little bit more of a stir-fry route. Shake things up a little bit. So we're going to be doing a stir-fry mix, broccoli, chicken, ground beef, and ground turkey, all divided out between lunches and dinners. The plan we're using is 8 ounces of meat per meal. So that's kind of...
It's a lot, but...
Scale helps.
Yeah. Now, because rice is going to probably take us the longest amount of time to cook, we're going to start that first. So, let's see. Do we have a digital scale around here somewhere?
We do, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
No batteries.
Figures. Okay. Now, for one serving on this rice, it is 1/4 of a cup per person. So, that's a half a cup each per day. 7 days, that's 3.5 cups. Is my math right?
You're making me do math.
I know. Let's see. Yeah, 3.5 cups. 7 days is 3.5 cups.
Pardon me a moment.
Bang.
Merci.
No mercy. Now we're going to need something to cook this rice in. Okay, so we're going to get the rice cooker out.
We're getting the rice cooker out.
Okay.
Another reason we do this, pardon me a moment, is I'm spending a lot of time outside doing projects.
We're just going to wipe this out real quick.
The garden, the animals, some of the stuff you've seen on other videos. Coming in every day to try to figure out meals for myself and my family is exhausting. But if we can get it all prepped in one day, then A, we get some quality time together when he's not working and I'm not out busting my hump. And B, we get everything done so we just pull it out, warm it up, eat it, and collapse. We are also going to be prepping up my mom and my daughter's meals at the same time.
Our daughters. We have some chicken thighs in the crock pot. They're going to be cooking all day. We'll be adding things to them over the course of the day to see what we can figure out.
We're also going to be cooking up pork chops for them. It's really hot here in the Midwest right now, so we're cooking it up now. That way they can have cold meals, sandwiches, whatnot, throughout the week.
Plus, we're doing this early in the day because the heat hasn't kicked in. Our solar panels are pulling a lot of the power in, and we're pushing all the extra power out to the grid because of the way our setup is right now. So it works for everybody, plus it keeps our electric bill down.
There is another open bag of rice over here. I should have thought of that before I opened this one.
It's okay. Finish off the one, and then, as you can hear, our children are having a meltdown for some reason in the living room.
Probably one of the kittens or one of the puppies. Now, are we going to do the brown rice during one meal and white rice for another, or are we mixing them together?
Why don't we do a mixture, brown and white?
So
I know that people will probably say you can't do that, but we're going to give it a shot anyway.
So I've got 2 cups of brown currently. Is it going to be 3.5 cups of both?
Okay, for one person, for one day is a 1/4 cup. Are we doing rice with both meals?
I thought that's what we agreed on.
Okay, so that's
Because the chicken
going to be even more then.
Well, let's talk through our meal plans.
Right.
For dinners, it is going to be the chicken with broccoli
and sweet potatoes. So we don't need rice at night. So
All right.
we only need rice at lunch.
That's 2 cups in there right now.
Okay, so 1.5 cups of the white rice, and we should be good to go.
All right. We do this all the time. Some people call it flying by the seat of your pants.
And since I have no backside, that's very fun to try.
I do the flying for the both of us, since I've got double the butt.
Good enough. All right.
We'll need to figure out containers to put them in so they stay good.
Did someone say containers?
Somebody said containers.
We have the avalanche of container lids.
Okay, so we're looking at 1.5 pounds of rice for future reference.
Right. Technically, you're supposed to measure it out. The best way to measure it out is, rule of thumb is measure it out in grams. That is 45 grams per serving. 45 grams. I'm looking at the bag. 45 grams per serving on one meal. So there you go.
We like using broth. Since this is going to be for lunch,
Beef.
we will use the beef. We don't like using water because it just kind of gives it no flavor. So we're using broth. Not only does it give us a little bit of extra oomph in some of the nutrients, but it will
Quick wipe out.
also give the much needed nutrients, flavor.
I knew you'd find the word.
Alright, since we don't need to steam any vegetables since they're already bagged,
Yeah.
we can...
White rice.
You racist. And we'll do it under brown rice since it takes the longest.
Get off my microwave, cat.
Wow.
Meow.
Alright, so now we have the rice steamer and the crock pot going. I already have the microwave preheated.
Microwave preheated?
Yes, the microwave is preheated. And so is the oven, by the way.
For the brown rice.
You are racist.
Ha ha.
So you saying the brown rice gets its own container?
Yeah.
It gets segregated from the white rice?
Yeah. I'm going to put it right above the white rice.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to put it in a position of authority over the white rice.
Now, is this male brown rice?
Yes. The brown rice is male and the white rice is female. We are horribly inappropriate in our humor. There's too much.
Too much brownness?
No. But there's not enough room to close the lid. That's okay. All will be well.
And here's the rest of it.
Right.
Clean up.
Brown rice above the white rice. Ooh, there's honey. Okay.
Next.
Do we want to put some chicken broth in with the thighs while we're cooking those? Or no?
Not yet. It's going to be roasting its own fat.
All right.
Next bit is the chicken, I think.
And I will get pans to cook the beef and the pork. Because that's how we do.
As you can tell, we have no clue what we're doing. Where's my bowl? You stole my bowl.
I didn't touch your bowl.
You stole my bowl.
No, ma'am. I did not. You'll need the shears to cut that up.
One shear.
One's here, one's there. Now we're not using like super lean meat here because, well, frankly, we're on a budget, so we use what we can afford.
And that's always a good step.
That's always a good start.
Do what you can afford. If you can start off with 80-20 meat, start off with 80-20 meat.
Now here's one advantage. You're going to add the turkey with the beef, and the turkey is 85-15, so that's nice and lean.
Well, that's weird.
What's that?
Well, they told me this was boneless.
Huh? It's not boneless.
It is not boneless. Look at that package again, would you?
Skinless, bone-in, split chicken breast. So guess what? They weren't lying to you.
I just didn't read.
You were just incorrect.
I just didn't read.
Happens to the best of us.
Happens to be more often than not.
Okay.
Just like this morning.
Yeah.
I got syrup. Turns out it was light.
Which technically is good for us because we don't need all the sugar.
No, we don't. We're trying to get away from said sugar.
Exactly. And if this video format kind of bugs you, apologies. We don't have a huge kitchen, as you can see. And it would be either like this, or the camera over here shooting across the different way, or we'd have it over here on this little mini bar, and all you'd see would be our backs. So,
and I'm trying to steer away from
we don't have a camera person to film the two of us working together. So,
and even then, they'd have two shots, right here or right there.
Which would again be working behind us.
What I'm doing is cutting off the fat
And gristle.
and gristle and bone. Fortunately, I only bought a small package of bone-in, so this shouldn't need to do a whole lot of prepping. Things are going to get interesting probably next spring, I want to say, because that's when we'll be able to start getting our meat chickens up and prepared. So we will be starting to process the meat chickens instead of having to go to the store and buying it. But that's a video for another time.
Also contemplating a food plot on our property that will bring in deer, turkeys, and whatnot. My thought is to try and get snare up a nice bird. Let's see, we're going to need 8 ounces each.
Mm-hmm.
This is pre-cooked weight, by the way. Let's see, 8 ounces per meal each. So that's a pound a day. So we need 7 pounds. If you want to just put 7 pounds all in that bowl all at one time, we'll just work from there. Will that take 7 pounds?
It will take 7 pounds.
Okay.
And if you hear whimpering, that's Junebug. She is wanting in.
No, she needs to stay outside. She's fine. It's a nice sunny day. There's no bad weather out there. She can stay out.
If you want to go outside, go ahead.
We free range our children moderately. There's a fence, so.
There's one we don't free range currently, and that's Sarah Jane. And once she gets old enough, that will change.
And hopefully as we move along with these videos, our video shooting, our video editing, our video process will be better. Right now we're shooting off of off the cameras in our smartphones. The hope is to, at some point, afford a nice camera so that we can both be in the shot and be seen. I'm getting bald. Oh yes, that works quite well. They didn't catch what you just did, so.
What I did was I took the bone from the bone-in chicken, and I put it into the crock pot. That way the bone will cook off, the meat and bone will separate from each other eventually, and we'll be able to use much more of the meat.
I'm gonna put you outside.
For the family, use what you can, and heck, even this fat can render into the chicken thighs. Make them just a little bit more tender.
Good chicken salad. Good chicken salad.
Make it a little bit more juicy and tender for future. You're in my way.
Yeah, we keep getting in each other's way. We'll put this clean lid on top of this turkey to help get it cooked.
And if we have any surplus here, that's also going into the crock pot for the rest of the family.
Yes.
Well, I just weighed this and we're at 6 pounds.
So our chicken amount is going to be
Less
than 7 pounds. That's okay. Now generally the idea is when it's all said and done, you're running at a little over 2,000 calories a day. If you want to sit and do the number crunching, be the nerd on the macros, the carbs and everything else, you can. We're trying to avoid doing that because it
gives us a headache.
It gives you, yeah. What she said. So we're working on a general guideline here. To resume, being too tight in your tolerances for what you're doing it can become just tedious, and it takes all the enjoyment out of it. So with this, we're putting stuff together that we like to eat. We're just trying to be a little more intelligent about it, be a little more smart. And people who know me would be surprised to hear me say that, but
what I'm doing now is I'm getting the pans together to put the chicken in the oven.
now, don't need to do. I know I'm getting in your way. I know. I'm sorry. Give me.
Especially when I'm trying to use
I know,
scissors.
I know.
Cut your hand. I'm going to try not to cut your hand.
Okay. I'll come around here on this side. And we'll.
Sorry.
For the beef and turkey mixture, since we're doing it kind of like a stir fry, we got some House of Sang. We're even trying these out. We don't know how good these are. We don't know if these are good, if they're bad, if we're going to like them, if we're not. We're going to try them.
We'll let you know.
We have a General So, which General So is a flavor I really enjoy. And a classic sauce. Ooh, which should be good. It's got rich and aromatic with soy sauce, sherry, garlic, and onion. Nice.
Sherry.
Sherry. Okay. I know.
Sherry?
It's an old song from before you were born.
Before I was born.
Before Daddy was born.
Oh, Sherry,
No,
I'm in love. I know, I can't sing.
not before Daddy was born. Daddy was born before music.
You see the sense of humor we have with one another?
Daddy's not that old.
Thank you, my child. So,
Found a gristle.
yeah, that's one of the things we want to try and remove while we're doing this. Because, it ruins a meal. You're sitting there trying to dig in and tuck into some really good grub, and then you find a piece of gristle in your mouth, and then you're like, nah. So, now I'm getting some good progress here on turkey. Not a lot of fat on this turkey, which is good.
But a lot of protein.
A lot of protein.
As we said, we did this last week, and so far I'm starting to see some good results. I've already lost about 2 pounds.
I myself have lost 1, so that's a good sign. Only 89 more to go. No, I don't want to get that thin, but I would like to get.
My goal,
I'd like to get about 40, 50 pounds off.
I'm doing little goals, and currently my little goal is 20 pounds. No, 24 pounds. That would get me to a more comfortable weight to where I can set my next goal. Baby steps. If you set too big a goal, you're setting up for a failure. You will get.
I'm going to.
You'll get used to our
Let
humor.
this cook a little bit eventually. We're still trying to get used to our own humor. Now here, I don't really want to put the camera right over this oven or the stove because it's steam up the lens, but there's quite a bit of fat in this hamburger. And we'll fix that momentarily.
And that's going to be another reason the dogs will stay outside. There we go.
One of the problems we have is we're on a septic system. So pouring hot beef grease right down your sink, no bueno. Not a good idea.
Unless you really want to see your septic guy.
Yeah. Which we like ours.
He's awesome. Wait until we start getting the rabbits. And that's another bit of processing. Apparently rabbit meat is very lean and very, very good, from what I understand. I'm looking forward to trying it.
Tastes like chicken.
I agree.
Yes, if you heard that, my notification tone is John C. Dvorak saying, "Oh, brother."
And yes, this is a shameless plug for no agenda.
Oh, bother.
If you're
Oh, yes, much, much better.
if you're hearing little Miss Sarah Jane, she is
She's watching TV with her grandma. Well, she's not watching TV because our TV died.
And instead of going out and getting another TV, we went and got a computer monitor. So now we don't watch live TV. We'll let you know how that goes. This is day 3.
3, yeah. Well, let's see. Our anniversary was Wednesday, 9 years married. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So technically day 4 because it died on Wednesday and it's Saturday right now.
It died Wednesday afternoonish, but I wasn't able to do anything until Thursday. Got a really good deal for a nice bigger computer monitor over at one of our local computer guys. I really love him. And got some speakers to go with it. Now we are just watching the videos we have on our computer and finding more from,
or whatever we find online that we deem is appropriate enough for our children to watch.
We are finding a huge resource from Klaatu. Thank you very, very much for all the information. You're doing a lot of hard work, and we appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, brother.
I don't know if you get told this enough, Klaatu, but you are a lifesaver, especially when it comes to videos.
I wouldn't go that far, but you're a dang good guy.
Photobomb.
Hey, I just want to read my video. I just
Harley, out.
Appropriately named, that one.
Well, you were the one who named her.
You didn't like any of my other suggestions. And I sure the heck wasn't going to go with my family tradition.
No, we didn't need another Charlene or another Marianne in the family.
In this case, it would be another Mary. Marianne.
Yeah.
For the past, I'd say, 4 generations, names of girls have been alternating between Charlene and a variety of Mary.
That is roughly about 6 pounds pre-cooked weight of beef and turkey. That will go into our Oriental stir-fry type mix.
There we go. So now, since we're going more of a stir-fry route, it's going to be a little bit higher in the spices. I have opted for Creole seasoning. This has just about everything we want in there. Red pepper, chili powder. Those would be good to up the capsaicin, and it helps burn more fat. Also gives it a little bit of a kick. We use it on just about every kind of meat.
Is it running again?
Yes.
Okay.
I just paused it.
Okay.
And
Because I had unpaused it.
And I just repaused it.
Okay.
Now I've unpaused it.
Alright. We're using sugar snap pea stir fry. 2 bags because, well,
It's going to be the 2 of us.
for an entire week.
We're running on the KISS method.
Keep it simple, stupid.
The bagged veggies are a lot easier than trying to get them individually, cook them individually, deal with them individually. Woo! It's toss it in and go. And in this aspect, it's cheaper.
Let's see, this has sugar snap peas, it's got green beans, it's got zucchini and yellow squash, water chestnuts, and some broccoli, but not a large amount.
He'll be giving me most of the broccoli. Maybe we should get you some Beano.
Beano before, there'll be no gas.
Don't you believe it? Yes, we're nerds and we make very old references. Do they even advertise for Beano anymore?
Probably not. Alright, so Now our vegetables are cooking.
And now I am portioning out the chicken.
Now there'll be, your head is right in the,
Tell me I got a big head.
no, just you're too close to the camera. I'd love to torment her a bit.
This is what a battered woman looks like.
Yeah, you're battered. Battered and deep fried.
Clearly. This is 1 week worth of lunches.
No.
Dinners.
Put it on in there.
And with it being cut so small, the cook time
30 minutes.
will be about 30 minutes. Alright, I got 7 pounds of meat and we have some extra. So I'll just go ahead and divvy it out. A piece for everybody and everybody in its piece. It'll be just a hair bit over 6 pounds. Or 6 pounds.
6 ounces.
If we were eating 6 pounds of meat, we'd be Eddie Hall.
There's a reference.
Alright, if you can pull that other one out so I can add more meat to it. It's now in the oven. And I'm going to wash my hands and start preparing the pork chop. I'm not going to do a whole lot of spices with this, pardon me a moment, with this pork chop because it is going to be for Mom and the girls. And neither girl really likes a whole lot of spice.
We'll get them over it.
I don't like spiciness, but Daddy does.
Alright, the pork chops are done, so I am tossing them in the oven now.
They'll have to cook a little longer.
Because they're,
still frozen.
yeah, they're still frozen solid. If you like the way we're doing these videos,
Lessons.
let us know.
Hydration. It's essential. I'll save those for next growing season.
That was my intention. Either in the greenhouse, in the growing plots, or maybe both.
Alright, I would say
Are we going to add these to the stir fry, or are we going to cook them separate?
did you want to cook them?
That's what I'm asking you.
Well, these vegetables are already done, so either way.
Just let me know what you want to do.
Well, we could just use them for snackage. Because, you know, fresh raw vegetables, good for snacking. Alright. Meat's done. Veggies are done. We're waiting on the rice, and it says 10 more minutes to remain.
We also need to wait on the chicken.
But these three go together. So,
Check on the rice because it may already be done.
I don't think the rice is going to be quite ready when the thing says it is, but
That's okay. We can keep it warm until it is.
Yep.
Now I'm going to cut up bell pepper. The chickens do appreciate meal prep day. All kinds of good things in the compost that they can eat. Alright. Bell peppers are now chopped. And we will now be put in the fridge. And now, time for the sweet potatoes.
which will be about the easiest thing to prepare because you throw the bags in the microwave and nuke them.
10 minutes. Kiss. Keep it simple. Alright, we just pulled the chicken out of the oven. The juices are running clear. So, yes, they are done. In bite-sized, well, depending on the mouth, I suppose, portion-sized settings for Rick and myself. What we're basically doing now is getting the sweet potatoes prepped and ready for mealtime. Alright, we're back. I'm currently peeling sweet potatoes.
and I'm dishing up rice. When you need a little more something in your belly to make you feel a little more full.
I really like this bracelet. It gives me superpowers. What? Hey.
Our narcissistic child.
Alright.
At the back of the top, up here.
Hey, Harley, do that again. Keep doing that until I say stop.
Okay. Itchy?
Very.
So here's one of the cool things about when you cook this chicken this way. Obviously it's cooled off enough where I can do this. But you can just take your little pile, and my hands are clean, I washed them. Pick up your pile, put it in your container. Pick up another little pile. When it wants to let go, put it in the container. Oh, a weaker meal, excuse me.
A week of meals for 2 people.
Right. And I just taste tested the chicken, and the chicken is delicious. And that was just what, the Creole seasoning and some salt?
Not even the salt.
No, not even the salt.
Nope, just
Doesn't
Creole
even-
seasoning.
Good. But you can see right here, 1 week of lunches for me, 1 week of lunches for Charlene, and serving size, 1 cup. About 11 servings per container. Hey, that's
Perfect.
perfect.
Cook them all up and
Yep. Okay, back up. Now I have our broccoli, which is about 11 servings, which is more than enough for an entire week. Here's all the broccoli we need for 1 week. Now I'm going to put this in the microwave for about 2 or 3 minutes. Put that bag in with a cup of water, and it's cooking for about 3 minutes. When it's done, I will check everything for doneness. Then we'll turn everything and all that, and I'll cook it a little bit longer if it needs it, which it probably will. I'm always good for butter. Everything's better with butter.
absolutely, Paula Dean. This is the last sweet potato.
Yay! I barely come up in the shot.
And is that such a bad thing?
She's mean to me.
Battered
She's being
husband?
mean. She's being mean to me, Spencer. Tell her to stop. I'm only calling you out because I'm assuming you're going to watch this video. You watched about everything else we've done. And hopefully something we've done has entertained you.
And we really appreciate it. Sir Spencer is co-host of Bowl After Bowl with his wife DeLorean.
He's a man.
He is awesome. And I heard the call out for you people who listen to Bowl After Bowl. We're keeping an eye on you. Alright. Pardon me a moment.
I'm gonna.
Live again.
Okay. I'm gonna just put some brown sugar in this butter so that it dissolves.
And we're also going to put the cinnamon in there for the same reason.
Yep. Get that. Brown sugar and cinnamon in your sweet potatoes. How can you get any better? Oh yeah. This is what you call putting some love in it. Now granted, for the weight loss and everything, probably you don't want to put the sugar and all that in. But
With everything else we're eating.
we going?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, we got the broccoli all nice and nuked up. Now it's time to divvy it up.
I've got the sweet potatoes mostly ready. These steamable sweet potatoes are not steamable. So we're going to go with the regular sweet potatoes and then put them in the oven ourselves. We've already got it on, so it just makes sense to throw them in there as well. and we can control how done they get. We did what we could, and I don't think it tastes too bad. I'm pretty sure a lot of the crunch will be taken out when we microwave it.
We'll do it live. I'll write it and then we'll do it live. That's for you Bill O'Reilly fans. Okay. All right. Now we have chicken with broccoli and sweet potato.
2 hours and a sink full of dishes later.
Yep, but that's okay.
Mom does the dishes.
I've been working on the dishes. I load the dishwasher anyway. I load the dishwasher and the dishwasher does the work. Alright, as you can see, lunch and lunches, dinners. We've got all our food. Yeah. Oh, you almost had it. There you go.